that I had put myself in that situation that I was in because of my disobedience. I cried because I was being convicted right in that moment.
All right, buckle up. I'm getting ready to take you on this journey of me being honest, open, and transparent. This is my story, and I hope that it will help you all. So get your popcorn because it's going to be a wild one. Trust me, you don't want to miss it.
All right, we're ready. This is CEO Confessions and Lessons, and I am your host, April Showers. Well, am I really a host? I mean, because it's just me. Anywho, I decided that I wanted to give my viewers a more inside look into what it's like being a CEO. And a lot of times, especially on other platforms, Instagram in particular, they like to just paint a very beautiful picture. And I love beautiful pictures, clearly. But it's not always pretty. Now, we make it beautiful, but it's not always pretty. So I said, well, let me do a in-depth, intimate one-on-one. Well, hopefully it'll be one in millions eventually. So I'm in my bedroom. You can't get more intimate than this. And I just wanted to have some conversations about some things that I've been through. So let's just get it started. Let me just jump in. I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm going to learn how to edit this video and hopefully it looks like something. All right. So, confessions and lessons. I wanted to talk about those mistakes along the way. Have y'all had mistakes in y'all journeys of entrepreneurship? But this one is business and personal. So I had to learn the hard way not to mix business with personal. And okay, I learned the lessons. I was getting ready to say it could be okay if it's the right person. No, it's not okay. Now it's different if you are like established and you're already in your career or your business and then you get married, right? And your spouse is just super supportive. We all want supportive spouses. So I think that works. And if that spouse wants to help you really elevate your business, then I don't see a problem with that. But dating somebody you work with, especially somebody you paying, child, don't look at me like that. I know. All right, so let's get into story time. I knew, my close friends knew that me dating someone that worked for me was not going to work. Actually, did I really know? I was in denial. So I'm not going to say I knew. They knew, I didn't know. I thought it could work. So I'm like, if the person is really into me and they want to see me win, they're my biggest cheerleader, then of course I'm going to blow up. I mean, they're on the team. So, and they like me. But baby, let me tell you, because what happens is it's not even them, right? Although people may say that it was them. And for this video, we're going to call them X, that it was X. But I felt like it was really on me because I allowed the personal to limit how I would normally cut somebody off. Let's just say that. I know my project manager. We also have a personal relationship. She's my first cousin, but we work well together. So I'm not saying not all personal, but personal romantic may not work. But anyway, so she was just saying like if it if it was anybody else, like they wouldn't even be on this team anymore because they're not meeting the level and the expectation. But because you have a soft heart for this person, you go on with the bull. And that's where I fell short. Everyone else said they could not separate our problems and our issues were always, they could not separate the business from the personal, meaning every time I did try to step in and be the CEO, it was personal. It was always I was attacking them, or there was always like you always had something negative to say. Like those were the responses that I would get. So it was really, they could not separate the business side from the personal side. And then when they would play me like that, because they're playing me and they got my heartstrings, when I know things weren't right, conversations weren't being had, emails weren't correct, just a whole bunch of things. I was way easier with X than I was with anyone. Okay, so with that long story being shared, let me tell you, I finally got to a place where I was like, okay, I'm done with X. And the reason why it was so hard for me to let go of X was because I knew that if I let go of the personal side, and by the way, we were personal before we were business. Like they became on the business side because we were already personal. And I just felt like this is my best friend, my biggest supporter, my ride or die. So naturally, it would be great to have this person on the team. So I knew, because the personal came before, that if I cut out the personal, then I knew my blinders were gonna fall off, and that they weren't going to be a part of the team anymore. And that actually like hurt me, like because I didn't want to let them go from the team. I wanted this for them so bad. Like, I just knew that, well, at the time, I thought that life hadn't done this person well, and that working with the brand would definitely elevate this particular person. So I wholeheartedly wanted to keep this person around. But I knew that if I cut out the personal, then again, my blinders were going to be off, and I was going to let them go sooner than later. And people that know me know I have no problems with cutting people off and letting people go. I do it all the time. But this one was different. So, anyways, I was getting my hair done, and my stylist friend and therapist, Leisha, was over here. And she asked if I had seen Power. I had already seen Power. And I hope I'm saying that this is right. I hope it's Power. It's the one with Force. Force. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was Force because Diamond is on there. I had already seen the episode. This was the second season, right? But I'm like, sure, we're gonna be here for a minute. Let's watch it again. I don't mind. So as we're watching it, I don't know why it hit me that night, because it had not hit me any night before. But I saw Diamond, and I was like, ooh. I said, I need a man like that. And Alicia was like, okay, girl, yes, you do. Yes, you do. Leave X alone and get you a man like that. And I was like, yeah. So you know how we do. We was like hyping it up, like, hey, yes, girl, yes. So I said, well, let me see. Let me see if he's even my age range, because black don't crack. And you will literally sit up there and be looking at somebody and find out that they could be your nephew. Like, what's the guy's name? Is it Kobe from Queen Sugar? Him. I remember when I found out he wasn't even 25 years old, baby. Okay. So, anyways, I Googled him because I didn't even know like him. So I Googled him, found out his name was Isaac Keys. I looked at his Wikipedia. And at that time, was he 43, 44? I don't remember. But we was around the same age range. So I was like, okay, we the same age. It's given. So Alicia was just hyping me up the whole night. And then afterwards, when she left, she always texts me and let me know she made it home. And I decided I was going to DM Mr. Isaac Keys. And that's exactly what I did. I DM'd him and I asked him if he was single. Um, Not knowing if he was going to ever see the DM, but look, I'm a huge manifester. I believe in putting things out there. So I said, well, let me see what it do. Because again, I've watched Force over and over and over and over again. And I had never, ever, ever looked at this man that way until the day I was fed up with X and I was ready to move on. And this was October of 2023. Yeah, October 2023. So I told her that I had slid into his DM, and she said, "Okay, girl." And then I went further, and I was leaving. I was flying to Atlanta the next day. I can't remember the event to save my life. I was flying to Atlanta the next day, and I said, "He gonna be on my flight tomorrow." She was like, "Okay, girl." Y'all, let me tell you, I didn't know nothing about this man. I didn't know where he lived. I didn't know nothing about him. I just said, he's going to be on my flight. I go to bed. My flight was super duper early. I think not that early. This was a 9 o'clock flight on American. Save that because it matters later. So I get up in the morning, and as I'm getting dressed, I have like an Issa Rae moment where I'm talking to myself in the mirror, and I'm like, okay, girl, are you going to put your lashes on, or do you want Isaac to see you in your natural state? And I was like, girl, let him see you in your natural state. So I didn't put no lashes on. And I know that's crazy, huh? Like, I literally got up thinking about how this man was going to see me. Mind y'all, I don't know anything about Isaac Keys. I don't know where he's from. I don't know where he's at. I had just said he's going to be on my flight this morning. All right. So I get to LAX because I'm from Los Angeles. And typically, when I fly into Atlanta, I take Delta. I fly first class because it's a long flight, and Delta just that's their hub. They're gonna always get you there. But their flights for first class be ridiculous to get you to Atlanta. Like American Airlines is half, but American, and where is some wood that I can knock on me? Hold on, y'all. I hope that's like wood slate. Okay, I had to knock on the wood because American used to not work for me. American has been working. We haven't had any issues. American, I'm flying y'all in 2 days. Please do not make me out to be a lie. But one time I was going to Atlanta. Well, me and my assistant were supposedly going to Atlanta. I was on Delta. She was on American. She loves her status on American, and she wanted to be on American. Known fact, American Airlines LAX only has one nonstop flight. I only want to do nonstop flights. Leonka took the American flight. I jumped on a Delta flight. When she got there, they were already delaying the flight, right? Like 40 minutes delay. So she's hitting me up like, hey, the flight's 40 minutes delayed. I'm like, don't play with it. If that flight goes over an hour or 2 hours delayed, you need to book a flight on Delta because we had a really important photo shoot. I needed her in Atlanta at the time. She was like, okay, it's going to be okay. They kept delaying it. Long story short, I'm already in Atlanta eating dinner. She's still in LA, but finally they're about to leave. Do you know they put all the people on the plane? She was like, we're on the plane, we're about to leave. They gave us all champagne and we're about to get out of here. It wasn't even 15 minutes later that girl texted me back and was like, the pilot came on the jetway and said, well, that's our time. It was 8 o'clock at night. She had been here since 8 o'clock that morning. He said, that's our time. And they turned back and went to the gate. She never made it to Atlanta. So I was like, that's why I don't fly American. You won't see me. No. But this time I was like, dang, the ticket was literally like $1,400 less to fly on American Airlines. That's how expensive Delta was. So I just bit the bullet and I booked my ticket on American. So I'm on the phone with my cousin. So we're going back to the story. On the phone with my cousin, and as I'm walking through the airport, I'm like, look, American be playing these games. I just got to the terminal. I don't see the flight. I'm telling you right now that if the plane ain't here in 10 minutes, I'm heading over to the Delta counter. I'm getting the flight there because whatever the event was, I needed to get there. Let me tell you, I was sitting there on the phone with her. It was about 7 minutes later. Remember, I said 10 minutes. 7 minutes later, the plane pulls up. And I'm saying all this because the plane was late, right? But the plane pulls up, and I'm like, okay, cool, cousin. The plane is here. Let me go use the restroom before I get on the plane. Y'all, I'm not making this up. As I'm walking towards the restroom, I look up, and yep, Isaac Keys was standing directly in front of me. And I was just looking like I know you lying. And he was looking like, why is this girl looking at me like that? And he had like fans around him, people trying to take pictures. So I was just sitting back like, I'm waiting, because I can't believe. I mean, I know I'm a manifester, but the fact that I'm, mind blown. He was on the phone. I saw Isaac, and I was like, I said, Chelsea, I gotta click over. I gotta call Alicia because you're not going to understand what's happening right now. You're not going to understand who is in front of me right now. And so I clicked over. I called Alicia, and I'm like, Alicia, guess who's standing in front of me? And guess who's about to be on my flight? She was like, I can't say the word because, we can't cuss on here. But she said the word like, I know you lying. She said, Isaac. Well, she said Diamond. Diamond. And I was like, yep. So by this time, the crowd had like died down. It was just me. And that's when I told him, like, you don't know me, but I manifested you here today. He was like, what? I'm like, check your DM. I DM'd you last night. And so he looks at his DM and I said, see, I asked you if you were single. And he was like, really? I said, do you believe in manifestation? He said, I do. I said, okay. I told my hairstylist yesterday that you were going to be on my flight today. I know nothing about you. And here you are on my flight. And so he looked at me, he was like, all right then, well, shoot your shot. I was like, okay, I'm April Showers. I'm founder and CEO of Afro Unicorn. I got like I gave him a full interview um, statement. It was so funny. But anyways, I was just excited because I knew that that was a sign from God that says, April, I hear you. I hear you and I got you. And I didn't know Isaac's status again. I didn't know the brother. Um, but what I received from the universe from that was you will have whatever you say, and know that I always have your back, and you can let go so you can receive what I have for you. So I made a proclamation immediately to Alicia, made a proclamation to my cousin. I'm like, from here on out, I'm done with X. There is nothing no one can do or say to get me back in there and that toxic mix, because I literally manifested this whole man from the television screen on my flight. We took a picture. I'm going to figure out how to edit. You should be able to see the picture. We took this picture and he was on my flight. I posted the picture. I tagged him. He reshared it. But then I later found out that he did have like a girlfriend, which was fine by me because, again, the message for me was let go, let God. And so I thought that's what I was doing, y'all. I really thought I was letting go and let God. I'm trying to call Alicia because I just want to validate. Let's see if she answers. If she doesn't, it's okay. But I want to see. So let's try it. She may be on Do Not Disturb. Oh, you answered.
Oh wow, why did you say that? Wait, hold on. Let me join from my phone.
Is it gonna cut off?
No, it's not. But like, I don't know, for some reason when I'm using my computer, like, it doesn't ring on the phone.
But I want to make sure we see you.
Who's we?
My YouTube family.
Oh.
I'm recording
Yeah,
it, but so you're so big on here.
oh, you could see me. Oh, okay. All right.
Okay.
Hi, YouTube family.
Let me put it. I'm recording a show called CEO Confessions and Lessons, and I'm sharing my journey.
Okay.
So
Why are you laughing?
I just finished telling them about the night you came over and you were doing my hair, and we were watching Power, and
Okay.
and I said that I wanted a man like Isaac Keys or Diamond at the time.
Yeah, please go by Diamond because I only know him as Diamond.
That I wanted a man like Diamond, and I told you after you left, I told you what was going to happen.
You said that you was gonna run into him on your flight.
Say it one more time.
You said that you were gonna run into him on your flight.
Okay, thank you. I just want to make sure that the people knew. And was he on my flight?
Yes, he was on your flight. Yeah.
All right, thank you, friends, stylists, and therapists.
You're welcome.
I'll talk to you later. I'm gonna finish the story with the people. You want to
All right.
bye?
Bye. Bye, people.
All right. So now that we have fact checked, okay. So the sign for me again was let go, let God. I got your back, and I had made an affirmation that I was letting go. Confession. I did not let go. I kept holding on, and the lesson was hard. I ended up having the worst year in 2024 that I've ever had. And at some point, like, I was just very angry. And I was very angry at X and like turning red at one moment. Things were really spiraling down. And I remember, like, I just wanted to call, message, and I had all these strong things that I wanted to express and say to them. And then the spirit came in and reminded me about October 2023 and said, you're in this situation because of your disobedience. It hit me like a ton of bricks that I had put myself in that situation that I was in because of my disobedience. I cried because I was being convicted right in that moment. But God loves me so much and he don't really play about me. He wanted me to get the lesson though. And the lesson was, April, I got you. Let it go and watch me work. And I did. Completely let it go. And yeah, 2000 was it 2025? It's up and stuck. And although we're in a crazy time right now with this administration, Afro Unicorn, April showers is really April showers. It's gonna be okay. Afro Unicorn can come and go, but it is gonna be here. But someone told me Afro Unicorn can go, but one thing's for certain, April showers will always be here. And God's got me, but I had to learn the lesson. So again, this show is all about my confessions and lessons. And so I just confessed to you guys that I did not listen to God. And I learned a huge lesson for not listening to him. But I also learned the lesson of what happens when I do. I hope this blessed somebody and that you're able to use me as an example. And when you hear something or when you get a sign as big as Isaac Keys, Diamond, Alicia said, just call him Diamond. As Diamond, um, believe that fat meat is greasy, that hot water is hot, or whatever them old people would say. All right, y'all. I love you, and I'll see you on the next episode of CEO Confessions and Lessons. Bye.